Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 versus 3 on Mortalis. But on Team 1, as the Orcs, we've got Zaj, we've got Seppa, and we have got Robinson. Whereas playing on Team 2, also as the Orcs, we have got Melon Turnis, we have got Pincher, and we have got Lucius. So here we go, it's a blooming Orc Royal Rumble. 3 Orcs versus 3 Orcs. We've got the North Orcs, or the Northsk, versus the South Orcs, or the Sorks. That's what I'm going to go for. It's going to be a real test of my casting capabilities, because there's no kind of colour scheme unifying one side or the other. It's going to be absolute bedlam, absolute chaos. But I have switched on persistent bodies to high, so hopefully we'll see this carpet of greenskins over on in the centre. Now, critical location countdown controlled victories are on, which means that hopefully there'll be lots of scrummage around this centre, the one singular point of heavy cover. Well, I suppose there is heavy cover in everyone's base, realistically, but yeah, I'm just expecting absolute bedlam, absolute chaos, as multiple greenskins run face over each other. And also, let's just really see the whole roster of the greenskins in Soulstorm. And obviously they've got their sluggers and their shooters in the early game. Everyone knows them, everyone loves them. Obviously, when we get into the late game and then you unlock 3 slugger boys, I imagine it will just be streams upon streams of chaff being thrown into each other's faces as the game goes on. It will be all down to, especially as the game begins, how tactically these big mechs can be used. Being able to teleport around on Mortalis, there's these little barriers separating these guys, so maybe some flanking maneuvers might take place. There we go. Oh, it's a bit like blooming Dragon Ball Z, isn't it? They teleport around and teleport back. There we go. Who's going to go Super Saiyan? Can't imagine anything more terrifying than an Orc going Super Saiyan. Like a Mad Lad Piccolo, I imagine. People still watch Dragon Ball Z? I mean, I don't, but like, people still get the references from way back when. There we go, look at that. Teleporting in, they don't care. But one problem of assaulting an Orc base, that the buildings shoot back. So, getting early game harassment on the opponents is going to be difficult. Now, little peek behind the curtain on how to cast kinds of games like these. You'll notice on the map, even though everyone looks like they're on the same faction, but only who's got the vast amount, you look on the bottom left hand side and compare and contrast the amount of blue to red. Now, friendly factions' colours do tend to overlap the enemy factions, I do believe. It gives us a general sense of who's got the numerical advantage here, and it does seem that the Norks, oh, that's a hard word to say, do have the numerical advantage at the moment. They've gone for a mass of slugger boys, which will help them occupy the centre, but I imagine you guys are probably, yeah, you're building up a fair few war banners straight from the get-go. I mean, not you, and not you, but Zaj does seem to be quite keen to just get his tech up as quickly as possible, so giving up the ground in the early game to maybe get some war trucks and war tracks out as quickly as humanly possible. That is not a terrible idea. Also, plenty of listing posts for every faction. I mean, 5 is just a stupid amount for Orcs. Very heavily reliant on blue money in the early game. If you imagine, what is it, a war banner costs 135 to upgrade, or to build even. Whereas most people getting up into tier 2, it's 300, 320, and 125 blue and green respectively to tech up. Because these guys are going to build up 5 war banners or so, which is like 5 times 130. You do the math. That is 100 times... No, I'm not going to do it. You can't make me. I'm on holiday. You can't make me do anything. Apart from these, obviously. But listing post be taken care of by the shooter boys. And all goes quiet for the moment. No madness. Straight from the get-go. Tactical manoeuvrings from the greenskins today. Are any of you taking up as quickly as possible? You've got the pile of guns. Everyone's going to go for some pile of guns. Makes sense because you've got your shooter boys. But double big mechs, potential to teleport on top of people. That being said, though, the shooter boys with the big mechs inside of them can also reposition themselves. So just by pure firepower alone do the Norks seem to be doing their business. The mech shop has been finished by Zaj, as the war banners are hastily built up by Robizon, and siege has been laid upon the left hand side. It's a gradual wear and tear of the buildings at the moment. And that countdown is now on. So the Sorks have got to do something. They're going to do something sooner rather than later.
5 minutes until taken.
Big Mech is holding the line. A few lads. But here come... Ah, there we go. There's the war trucks. Now, with no anti-vehicle, these Orcs have no choice but to fall back a little bit. Don't have to give up the whole ground, but probably don't want to lose more than they need to. Big Mech with some Slugger Boys. There goes the decap right there. And everyone playing... You know what? Everyone playing quite cautiously at the moment. I was not expecting this. I was expecting gay abandon as the Orcs throw people at each other. But I suppose in a mirror matchup, it's ultimately who comes down to who's got the most meat on the field. Got some Storm Boys ready to potentially do some building bashing back at home in the base. Sniping at war banners will be a key feature in this game. There's a squad of tank busters from Melanturnius, however one wants to pronounce that name, and a thick squad of Slugger Boys at 7, and some Shooter Boys as well. Orchard's keeping people at bay for the moment. Stormboy boosting research coming online. But silver vehicle speed boost. Everyone plans to go as fast as they like. Gradual wear and tear on this listening post out on here. Seems that maybe it's a case of everyone just playing light for the moment and waiting to tech up. And flash kits are really going to be an essential component of everyone's unit roster here. And tank busters all the same as well. Double squads of tank busters. Big Mech teleports in. Could do a big zap. There we go. So one war truck is inevitably going to fall. Luckily, gets stunned in the heavy cover, so will last for a little bit longer. Another stun, grabbing 2 vehicles as well. So vehicles are also going to be quite a tricky customer to maneuver and manage on the battlefield if the micro is on point, which the Norks do seem to have that in favour for them. Explosive stuff happening everywhere. Slugger Boys
6 minutes until
managing to go down. Victory. And just the number, the sheer amount of the Northern Orcs are a scary thing to behold, but we're now seeing the Southern Orcs as well start to get their numbers up as well. Push going on into Zaj's base. They've identified that he is the one with the vehicles. He's probably the customer number 1 to be taken care of. Also the tank busters going to the left hand side and seeing what they can do. Will rely on some allies to come in and see if they can provide some support. Exclusively going for vehicles is Zaj, which he will struggle to hold the line against all these tank busters. Big Mech teleports in from Lucius, and another one from Rubicon, or whatever your name was. Rubicon? Something like that. And it's just so many Orcs. Who's on whose side? Again, use a little mini-map below. Red on the south, blue and green on the north. So many of them. It's just a massing war. Thankfully that at least Seppa has got a lovely teal shade of Orcs, so we can at least spot them quite easily. Stormboy's rushing on in from Lucia, seeing what he can break on down. Stormboy, if he's got the knob of the power claw in there, can certainly bash down buildings. Relative swiftness. Knobs online for Zadge. Valuing that stalwart front line that he absolutely needs, but Melantonus has got the exact same idea. He's got more knobs than he has. Oh, you've gone for a quick tier 3, you. It's quite impressive.
6 minutes.
Here is the war boss, just absorbing the fire. There is some flash kits as well from Robinson. Robinson, not Robicon. And that's going to be a whole load of dead orcs relatively soon. Slugger boys from Kepper, come on in. See if they can do what they can. And as mentioned, assaulting an orc base a little bit harder with all the fiery bits going on. Flash kits having to use their fighting juice to stay alive. We've got some more coming in as well. It's not looking good for the Sorks at the moment. But they do have that tech advantage. Maybe that will give them the little boost that they need. Flash kits, both squads are now online. Maybe even cheeky early game squig off might turn the tides a bit, or at least open up the centre to provide the Southern Orcs a bit of room to manoeuvre. Already we're seeing an amassing of Orc bodies, but primarily on the southern side of the battlefield at the moment. Are you guys going? Yeah, you're going to go for tier 3. You're already in tier 3, and you're already you're on the way as well. So the window of opportunity for the Southern Orcs is going to be limited. But if there was a time to attempt to make a play for a push, now is the time. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to... Oh dear, that poor Mad Doc there, managing to get some fighting juice on him. Just in the nick of time, but it will go down. Zadge now recapturing his relic. And some looted Lehman Russes for the long-range firepower. Yeah, with all the knobs on the side of the Norks here. A long-range unit composition is probably what's best. With all those tank busters as well, having a long-range vehicle is probably best as well. Maybe some fighter jets as well, or fighter bombers. But there's a squig off as well. Nice stuff. Extra vehicle armor finished for Pinker, and going to go for those looted Lehman Russes himself. Here comes a big push from the Sorks. A lot of boom daka. Knobs teleport around the back. Well time, in fact, another squad of Knobs as well going for it. Tank busters going from Melantonus's war truck even, whatever you call it. And the flash kits are not in a happy situation at the moment. But looted Lehman Russes getting the explosives in. Absolute bedlam and pandemonium as the flash kits fall back. But now gets flash kits on the right hand side. And all those teleports are down. That gives these guys plenty of potential just to throw down every piece of firepower that they've got. Absolutely incredible feats of carnage, displays of dominance. As okay, yeah, the Knobs keep on pushing them back, but flash kits on the right and flash kits on the left covering each other's retreat. There's a gradual wear and tear on their numbers. And it does seem that the Orcs are, well, the Norks, sorry, are gradually falling down in their numbers. They're certainly a lot more spread out than the southernmost Orcs. But they've now got their own flash kits. That should help them stabilise in an engagement. Mad Docs, I see what they're doing there, putting some fighting juice on themselves, and pop down a bomb. As long as they keep their attention and explode those bombs before they go off. That saves them, but one well-placed mega boomy bomb. Not only does it do a hell of a lot of damage, but also massively spreads out their firing line. Makes them easy to pick off as well. 1 minute and 16 seconds. The Sox need to get involved. Get a decap. Here come the knobs. A rocket and a mighty squig off. Look at him. There he is. Big Dakar everywhere. Charges on in. Knocks everyone around like a puppy in armour. And looking at that mini-map, we're seeing a lot more red in the centre than we have before. Can they get that decap? 40 seconds left. It is the flash kits that are going for it. And a healthy amount of lads and health. Each to a man, or to an orc I suppose. And just by the hair on their chest, they managed to get that decap. They'll fall back a bit. And the push continues. But it seems that the Norks have got a large amount of orcs in the centre at the moment. Good lord, I knew that this was going to be a challenge to cast, but for most parts, because I've got no idea what's going on. It's just people are fighting and people are having fun, you know? All the orcs here are just really enjoying themselves. Squiggles to the left of me, jerks to the right. Here I am, stuck in the Dakar with you. And plenty of firepower to go around. Soon we'll barely be able to even see the critical location for the dead orcs around them. And this is indeed what they like best. War boss on his own, but he doesn't mind. Ironically, being on your own is probably more safer, or safer if I want to use proper English, than joining a squad of flash kits, as they are going to be what is sniped out as quickly as possible. Good lord. We'll have to do a count of how many orcs in total have died at the end of this match. Slow start to this game, but a mighty climax off in the middle, and there's no sign of it even remotely slowing down. I mean, I assume that now you guys have just got unlimited. Yeah, you've got unlimited sluggers coming from everyone. I assume that, well, not from everyone at the moment, but from enough people. I know it's not possible, but we might see these guys just run out of ammunition at some point. There's a bomb. Can you take it off? Oh, quick, quick, quick! It goes off. Oh no, no! That was just the friendly fire from the fighter bomber. Here come the sluggers. They'll have to come in waves, though, I imagine. You'll have to save them up and then send them off. Good lord, how many? Yeah, it's just piling on top of each other. You're gonna have to get your scrambling boots on if you want to get towards the front lines here. The Norks, you know, they've got their firing line that's not been moved for a while. Theirs is over here. The Sox got their firing line down here. And team communication and work will be a primary thing to focus on. You can't just send one orc in to do the damage. You've got to move all together in tandem. Bit of teamwork, which orcs are not necessarily known for. But some sneaky, stealthy orcs. Oh, almost explosion going on down here. There's some sneaky potential for some tank busters going off around the side. I mean, one way to limit the spamming of the slugger boys is to break down the war banners. If you can somehow get some tank busters around the side, unseen and unnoticed, on a tight-knit map like this, in the flanks is difficult. Maybe a mass of storm boys to jump over the side. But everything that you don't throw into the centre basically gives ground to the opposing orcs. I've got Melanturnis giving just as good as he's getting with his Master Slugger boys. And this is where the real concentration of bodies is. Good lord. Frame rate, please be gentle, please be steady. Doing alright though. Looking on high graphics, the shader is on, and we've got persistent bodies. But how long this will last for, boys and girls, I'm not entirely sure. We'll be lucky if we survive the whole game. Lehman Russ goes down. Oh god, yeah, I'm getting a delay on the key inputs here. Just gonna have to have more static cameras, really. Might miss on some of the action, but at least we get to see. I mean, if you're not happy with this amount of action, what can you be happy with? But it seems that the Slugger tug of war is being won by Melanturnis over here. Flash kits have been pushed back, which means that the firing line is not as well formed as the Norks. Good lord. This isn't even. This isn't even the beginning, boys and girls. This is just the beginning. So what else can happen, right? So we've got the idea of the Storm Boys going around the flanks, break down the war banners, reduces the squads, the Orcs' maximum squad cap, which then prevents them from fielding as big an army. Go in and crush them. That's one option. One thing that the Orcs really struggle with is their aircraft play, mainly because, unlike, say, for example, the Sisters of Battle, their fighter bombers are primarily doing damage to infantry, not buildings, so you can't exactly go around the side with aircraft and do damage that way. Do you get all three squig-offs and just decide to go down one side and see if you can bash other things elsewhere? Maybe fit a squad of knobs inside each squig-off, or maybe even just a couple of squads of tank busters and get them in that way. There is a myriad of ways to potentially break a large siege like this, but it does require a sizable amount. And there we go, big mech. Oh, there we go. We'll look this way. Oh, back to 60 frames. Good lord, night and day differences here. Knobs coming in. Oh, it's like we're watching it in double speed almost. Oh, and if they can break down that settlement. Oh dear, that'll really rustle the jimmies of Lucius. Just when you thought. There we go, forcing them all to have their flying forces over onto this side. But then, when they least expected it, float like a butterfly, sting like an orc, that's what they've done. And squig off action. Oh, we missed that, but I'm sorry. Oh, we'll go back to our usual scheduled programming. Oh, we'll see if we can fit it all in. Oh, gods. Oh, my goodness. There's just no other game, is there? There's no other game like Soulstorm, or just Dawn of War in general, that really captures the madness of the 40k universe. Here they come in. And that's just my own sense of knowing. Has Lucius got another builder knocking around? He does, he's rebuilding, he's fine. He's okay. Now we're going to push from a squig off in Melanturnis' base. So if that camera movement gave you a bit of vertigo there, but just the way it goes. And it's sluggers everywhere. Lucius pushing on in, but the screw-off will go down gradually over time. Now, it does seem like the Sorks have got the pushing potential here. One Orc player's basically got, I mean, what kind of... You've got 32 Orcs on the field at the moment. I imagine most of those are knobs, so technically you've probably got about 16. And the push onto Robizon's side from the Northern Orcs hasn't yielded that much in the way of fruit for them. So it's just a case of them now having to play super duper defensive in the hopes that Lucius can rebuild all his bits and bobs. How much economy has each person got? 123 and 68, 279 and 107 and 84 compared to 135 and 71 146 and 68, and 45 and 43. Yes, sir. All the economies are pretty standard between the orcs with the exception of Lucius, which makes sense considering that he has just lost his base. But so far, everyone on a relatively healthy economy. Squiggoff's holding the line. And it seems that Lucius managed just to save a couple of war banners, which, at this stage of the game, could mean the difference between life and death. It seems to have stemmed the tide, but the firing line of the Sorks have now moved a little bit further forward. They have now been able to access this central piece of heavy cover, which the Squiggoff is quite happy to sit in. And also, one thing to keep in mind is that the Sorks can also decap that relic, which means that the amount of Squiggoffs the northern team can have access to is reduced by 1. Pincher now popping down a boys hut inside of the base. We have got knobs for Melantonis inside the base. And if you can break down a couple of boys huts, which is a nice fine idea, that just basically reduces the amount of slugger boys that can be thrown out at any one given time. That's the hope. That's the dream. Can he get it down? Doesn't seem like it. Dear oh dear. Oh god, right, just give us some of that 60 FPS for a little bit. Ah. Music to my eyes. All the rest of Lucius's base is going the way of the dinosaur down here. As more bedlam happens. Although it does seem that the Northern Orcs are now reclaiming their central points. Somehow, someway. Whether it's just because they've got more sluggers or not, it's hard to really say. That central Squiggoff absorbing a lot of the damage from those flash gates. And the Squiggoff meaning to survive a little bit longer than normal, I reckon, just because of the amount. Well, so, should I say the lack of tank busters that are online at the moment. All of Squad Cap being loosened up for more sluggers and more flash gates. There he goes in, charging on into more bits and bobs. Looks like as if a explosive went off down here with all the fire going on the war banners. Oh, another explosion somewhere. Where will this happen? Ah, there's so many explosions. Whatever that explosion was, either it was cancelled or it is indistinguishable from all the explosives going on. What's going on down here? Yeah, it's all dead and dying. Now we're going for some killer cans. As the strategic points listing posts start to decay and the economy is whittled down, looted Lehman Russes will be replaced by killer cans. That is the way it goes. But now the Sorks have reclaimed their dominance in the centre. Another charge. Be gentle, frame rate. Be gentle. There we are. Hope you all like watching slideshows. That's what we got. Maybe if I zoom a little bit closer, there's that. Nope, makes it worse somehow. Glorious. You can never even see the floor. What else is going on left hand side? Can't we even tell? We've got some sort of mass in the middle, maybe. Or in the middle of this bit, should I say. Much like how the big mech was used to teleport around the side, they've now got all... I mean, let's look at all this. One big mech, a couple of knobs, in fact, a couple of big mechs and a couple of knobs going over here. absolute chaos and mischief. So the Norks probably need to do something very similar. They're being brutal and cunning, but they could start being a bit more cunning and brutal. As the Southern Orcs are now enveloping that central point, but they could have gone for the critical location in the centre, but deciding no. We're going to show these boys what it really means to bring the Daka and bring the war to our enemies. There we go, there they are, ready for another. I mean, the war boss can't teleport. Not sure what his plan is, but Big Mac can. Now coming in for the double squig push. A one squig to respond, managing to charge straight on into him, preventing him from charging all the way to the flash gates. Plenty of Lehman Russes. One squig off goes down, but so too will Pincher as well. We do have some knobs inside the base, but all those war banners bringing them down quite rightly and quite nicely. Need more than just the one squad. Need a concentrated effort between all sorts. Down over here, we've got a little bit of a push, but it's been pushed back. Oh, look at that. Squig off duel. How often do you see that? That's a thumbnail right there. Oh, I mean, maybe a thumbnail. Have a look at that. Cinematic as you like. And both seem to get that. As even a fight as he can get on, they both die relatively at the same time. There we go, it's a draw. And no screw-offs for anyone else at the moment. I imagine that's because everyone's economy is... Oh no, everyone's still alright. All things considered. Yes. Not bad at all. Well, it does seem that the... I know it's just sluggers that are pushing into the base slowly but surely, but there's... Whatever's going on the left flank, Sorks aren't really holding it as well as you'd expect. But they've got the fighter bombers and they've got the flash kits, so no matter what's been thrown towards them, they should be able to hold. Fresh squig off from Pincher. But more and more ground being seceded from the Norks. The tank goes down. And a wonderful use of the fighting juice. Keeps the knobs alive. Problem is though is that, yeah, okay, your squad survives with 1 health apiece. You're gonna wait for a million years for them to regen their health. But eventually, when the economies do start collapsing, which I mean, how decayed are these posts? Well, they're already maximally decayed, so maybe we won't get to the point where everyone's on a skeleton's crew of economy. Maybe you can just rebuild all the shit you lose. Fair enough, War Eternal. That's what we've signed up for today, apparently. And you can barely even see the orcs on the backdrop of all the bodies. But they are there. I suppose probably the only way you're going to bash these war banners without teleporting all 3 big mechs around the side is by somehow fighting your squig as far away into it as possible. Oh, no, I like this. That's a good idea. Building your settlements further on in. 1 for less distance for your slugger boys to walk. And 2 just because it's more stuff that they've got to fire through to get to your main base. Very nice. There's another squig off duel. As it seems the orcs starting to make headway. It's like the beaches of Normandy. Imagine that this is the sea. This is the beaches. They've got that. Oh, where's that boomy bit? I had a boom going on somewhere. How on earth, in a match like this, can these players just say, oh yeah, I hear it ticking. It must be a bomb. I know exactly where it is. Let me shoot it straight away. I suppose that these guys are now deep in the zone, deep in the juju. Unending tide. Flash gets still online at the moment. Fire juice been pops on the knobs. Stand still so I can click on you. Who are you on? You're Zaj, sir. Yes, these guys are just basically going to occupy the front, us giving vision to the flash kits as well. Staying alive for as long as possible. Can they get this listening post down? They do manage to get it. And these guys a little bit more space. Look at them surge forward. Smell blood in the water. But it is a bit risky there. At this point, if you lose both your flash kit squads or at least have such damage done to them that renders them ineffective in combat, well, the momentum can very swiftly turn back onto you. But one important thing to keep in mind as well is that even though Lucius has basically got no economy at the moment, the Zorks are free. The Zorks are absolutely free, and clogging up the centre with more bodies is just as a valuable thing to contribute as anything else. I mean, granted, there's 2 squads less of flash kits as he can have, but that just means he can be able to fit more slugger boys down the gullets of your opponents. Oh, we've got a rogue squad of, teleporting Big Mech going around the flanks of Lucius. Oh, sorry, he's Lucius. Going around the flanks of, who's on this side? Of Zaj. The mass have slowed down that advance on now. Incredible amounts of firepower. I can't even look at it without it being turned into a slideshow. Have a look at it. It's just enough that you can appreciate it being there. Screw off there. And the, oh dear, big explosion knocking everyone around. Keep on keeping on, sluggers. Like an immovable object meeting unstoppable force. But ground is being given regardless. What's the ground doing over here? Nice, very nice ground. Super ground, if you will. One issue that these guys will have defending here is that if they can get enough... I mean, surprised that we don't see... Oh, right, you've got your fire bombers on the edge and your looted Lehman Russes on the side as well, which then help with the old firing around the sides. We'll be taking out a few buildings here and there. But you could do the same over here as well, in theory. A couple of tank busters could snipe out the boys' hut, maybe even the settlement. Oh, and we've got... There we go, there's a big mech for Nob Squad. If it works once, it'll work again. Morale being broken. As the firepower draws on in. Watch from this perspective just for a wee bit. Somehow watching from that angle doesn't improve it like the other angle did. Nice placement of the war banners there, away from the sides as we mentioned. But the Orcs are now well and truly getting up inside of the base of Pincher. Another potential squig-off duel. Constant reinforcements of squig-offs. At the moment, it is just... Well, is it 2 squig-offs apiece? 2 squig-offs either side? Yeah, it is indeed. You get to see 6 online at the moment. They do take a while to build, in all fairness. Rob is on, losing his squig-off just about. There we are. And the undulating masses. I mean, just zoom out and just have a grand old look at that. That is. But to be fair though, like it is sure the defensive capacity of these orcs is still the mass of the bodies is on that southernmost side. But it is slowly but surely spreading up north. All these yellow orcs here, I assume you're on the opposing team. I can't tell, boys. I just can't tell. But again, look at the minimap. That's how you know what's really going on. That's the trick of the trade, as it were. Gonna screw off just kind of... Oh my god, he's making orc wine. It's like a wine press. A nice fungal brew, as it were. I'll drink it, why not? Just for a bit of the banter, the boys. Against all odds. Is it Pincher and the boys and Lucius being able to maybe get some extra space going on here? Getting some pushback. They say that the more orcs fight, the stronger they become. And maybe it's a case where the orcs have been pushed on the edge for so long and they are now just feeling that little extra violence on them. Also, it's a lot easier to kind of mass your boys in one small area, which makes defending a lot easier. Well, I suppose these guys are a bit more spread out. That is a thing. Settlements keep on creeping further forward. Also the boys' huts as well. It's got a lovely placement of all the boys' huts and war banners down over here. Still no 6 squig-offs, but I like how they're being placed in range stance. The problem with squig-offs is that they've got ridiculous... Oh, hold on, wait, now you... Oh no, you're... For a second I thought you were bad knobs for a second then. You are setting things on fire over here. Ah, because it's Seppa's fighter bomber off in the corner. Slowly but surely taking down a boys' hut. Also got the tank busters somewhere knocking around these parts. So very nice. Yeah, if there's another orc to fall, it's going to be Melantius. Or Melantius. Melantius, I've been pronouncing your name wrong all this time. You know what, I don't care. Stop having names that are hard to pronounce and read. I can't read, I'm on holiday. Leave me alone. Push on, push on, push on. That's what the orcs at the back are saying. Let us get to the fight. It seems that the flash kits are now in smaller numbers. What's the economies going on for everyone at present? You've managed to get even more economies. How? How is this possible? I mean, yeah, so the Southern team significantly more economy than the Northern team at this point.
5 minutes.
It's just a matter of how long
Victory.
can the North team hold. Let's get back to our moderately acceptable frame rate on the corner here. So now things are falling. Got a sizable amount of lads firmly on the ridges. Tank, that's what I mean. The tank bus can go around the sides and start doing some boomy bits. That's what I wanted to see. What else can the Northern team do? Other than really fight fire with fire, I'm surprised that with the success of the raid on Lucius's base, that the Northern team haven't fought the same of just getting a couple of big mechs and going around the flanks, because you are quite susceptible to that, considering that you've got war banners spread out across the place rather than concentrated on the side. I'm surprised that's not a thing that you guys have done. But clearly the Northern Orcs, like Northern men, believe that brute strength will get them the day. And there is still potential for that. Spriggoff now engaging in glorious hand-to-hand combat. As another settlement from Zaj is popped forward. Keep on keeping on, sweet summer child. As they seemingly are beating back. The Sorks, can they... Are they beginning to believe? I imagine the APM for these players is probably quite minute at the moment. It's just a move, blob of orcs in one direction. Oh, it's hurting my eyes just looking at this. Although I suppose you could probably have this kind of... I think I do remember seeing a while ago an orc ASMR where it's just basically this sound for 10 hours. It's orc war noises to go to sleep to. And I'm feeling strangely at peace, you know? Oh, it seems that push has not quite garnered them the momentum that they wanted. And now it looks like that there are 2 Squiggoffs inside of Melantonis' base. Flashkits are still alive, but it's only so... Oh, right, we've just been knocked around by that wonderful charge from Robinson Squiggoff. Very hard to get off a decent charge with a Squiggoff, considering that they usually get stuck on little bits and bobs. But yeah, this is absolute disaster situation scenarios for Melantius. Lose the mech shop, so won't be able to get another Squiggoff. Nearly got his own back as well, but managing to crash down upon that Squig. 2 Squiggoffs came in, neither of them left. It's a good kill ratio if you ask me. 1 million war banners occupying that right flank, just in case anyone wants to teleport around and do some shenanigans. Yeah, the enemy are in the base, the enemy are up the rafters. Good Lord in heaven. They're not giving up ground without a fight. They are point blank refusing to surrender. Yeah, it is quite calming now that you think about it. Once you've got used to it, been listening to the sound for about the best part of 40 minutes. Kind of just like a bit of reassuring, yeah, you know? Daka, 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 man. I can hear it. Oh, stolen line of flash kits on the left has regained composure of their little entrance. And it seems that these guys over here have just... I mean, apart from losing their listening post on the relic, might in fact actually lose their relic now. But yeah, not much ground has been given up by those lads. War being called by Keppa's war boss. Nobs charging. About to finish that mech shop. Just about to finish. He comes in. And these Nobs, well, I do believe you've gone for reselection, you bastards. Fine, don't let me. I don't care. I don't need selection. But look like that a fair few of you went for power claws, which is interesting. Slowly, slowly, Zadge's base expands, giving them a stronger fallback point, and a closer fallback point. Selman over here is dead due to the tank busters. More things over here have been shot down as well. And that is... Will not play it. He's given up. Saw the writing on the wall. Saw the orcs on the floor. That is... What else can you do? And a really strong opening. A mass charge down to the centre. Got the critical location. Almost won based on that alone. But the Southern team taking up a little bit quicker. Getting that tech advantage. Then just basically gave them that extra room to manoeuvre. And then, well, from that point onwards, it was just basically who had the most boys. And that sneaky manoeuvre over here, basically making it a 2 vs 3 for a little while, could not recover from that point. But there we are. My goodness, my gracious. Let's have a quick ganders at the floor. So right now, just... It seemed that most of the orcs dead came from down this way and this way. Look at that, just... You barely see anything of the floor. In fact, you literally cannot see, I mean, apart from the red bits. But there we go. Let's have a quick ganders at how many orcs died in total. So, looking at the numbers, we shall go... I'll show up all of the things for now. So there's the numbers there. Resources, if you're interested. Technology, if you're interested. But I'm mostly interested in the units killed. So, boys and girls, after consulting my calculator, I can confirm that 1,142 orcs died in the making of this cast. So, fantastic stuff all around. So, there we go. So, cheers, boys and girls, for watching at home. And if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you 1 game a week, and there's also a Discord where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. As been Mr. Landshark, pleasure's always never short. Now, see you in a bit. Peace.